श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Today is a very special day, Mahaprabhu's Aradhana day, which is also the day of Anusha Nakshatra, Anuradha Nakshatra. It's a great day, very auspicious. On this day, we have the good fortune of having gone through 6 weeks of Vande GurorMandalam, the lecture series on Adi Shankara Bhagavad-pada's Stotras. We are now in Saundarya Lahari with the blessings of Mahaprabhu, Puduprabhu and the present Pariva. We have been able to go through various Stotras relating to Ganesha, Guru, Shiva and now Devi. We are in the last stretch of Saundarya Lahari because of the grace of our Acharyas. So let us continue and complete Saundarya Lahari today. Shloka number 97.
Namaskaram. Giramahurdeviim druhina grihiniimagamavidaha haref patnim padmam harasahachareemadritanayam turiya kapitvam duradhigamaniseema mahima mahamaya vishvam भ्रमयसि परब्रह्म महिषी.
Now, this shloka tells us that Parashakti is in fact the form of all other Devis, Lakshmi, Saraswati, etc. And the fruit of this shloka is Jivan Mukti. Giramahurdeviim druhina grihinim agamavidaha. Agamavidaha ahuhu. Those who are the knowers of Veda, they tell us. Agama means Veda as well as Agamas. It's a common term for both Vedas and Agamas. Agamas are many. Shaiva Agamas, Shakta Agamas and Vaishnava Agamas. These are distinct from Vedas. But the term Agama here should be understood as referring to both the groups of literature. So, knowers of Vedas tell us that Giram Devim Druhina Grihinim, you only are the consort of Brahma, Druhina is Brahma, and you are the Vagdevi, Giram Devi. You are the Devi of Vak, Devi of speech. This is what knowers of Veda tell us. Hare Patnim Padmam Hara Sahacharim Adritanayam. Similarly, they also tell us that you alone are Vishnu Patni Padma, that is Mahalakshmi. Also, you have taken the form of the daughter of Himavan, that is Parvati, the Sahachari of Hara, the consort of Parameshwara. So you have taken these three forms. This is what Agama Vedas, knowers of Veda, tell us. The Vagdevi Saraswati, the Vishnupatni Mahalakshmi, and Shivapatni Parvati Devi. You alone have taken these forms. Three forms he has mentioned so that he can use the word Turiya. Turiya is the fourth. Turiya Kapitvam Duradhigamanisti Mamahima. Tvam Turiya, you are the fourth one. Actually, you are not these three. You are the fourth one. Fourth always means we have seen beyond the three. Turiya is a state of release from samsara. Turiya is the state of moksha. We have seen it before. Upanishads are emphasizing the state of Turiya, the fourth state, beyond Jagrat Swapna Sushupti, beyond Sattva Rajas Tamas, beyond the lokas above the earth and the lokas below. So these three divisions are parts of creation and created beings. Now, one who gets released from the cycle of samsara will go beyond these three, will go to the fourth state, which is the Parabrahma state, the supreme Ananda state. So that is your state. That is you. You are that. Kapi. It is beyond description. Parabrahman can never be described. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha, Veda says. That is, the mind as well as the words withdraw because of inability to describe Parabrahman. This is what Veda itself says. So you are that, which is beyond words. So kapi, beyond description, beyond words, beyond even mental mode, beyond thought. Duradhi gaman isti ima mahima. So your glory is not reachable by mind. Duradhi gaman. It is not reachable by mind. It is not attainable to the ordinary human faculty. Nissima. It is limitless. It is limitless. It is beyond reach of human being. That is your glory. Mahamaya Vishwam Brahmajati Parabrahma Mahishi. Parabrahma Mahishi is a Sambhosana, is the address to Devi. You are Mahamaya and you make the world, make the universe revolve and move. Revolve and move. You are Mahamaya because the world itself is the creation of Maya and the movement of world is also Maya only. Everything related to the world, whatever we see around us, is all Maya. She is Mahamaya. What individual experiences is Maya. The collective experience of all the universes, all the individuals is Mahamaya, naturally. So she is Mahamaya. By her power, she has created the universe. She is running the universe. She is making the universe run around, revolve around. Vishwam Brahmayati Mahamaya Vishwam Brahmayati Parabrahma Mahishi. Parabrahma Mahishi, consort of Parabrahma. Mahishi is a term used for queen, Raja Mahishi. Pattabhisheka Mahishi, like that. It's not used for ordinary mortals, ordinary humans. But Parabrahma Mahishi, he could have said Parabrahma Swarupini because the description so far, Turiya, Mahamaya, etc., applies to Parabrahma actually. A copy also he said, beyond description. All that applies to Parabrahma. So, when she herself is Parabrahma Swarupini, she is of the form of Parabrahma. Why did he say consort of Parabrahma? That means there is another Parabrahma for whom she is consort. That is Shiva, as we have known. Kameshwara, Kameshwari. Shiva Shakti Aikyam is the subject in Kundalini Yoga, in Sri Chakra, even in the Bindu in Sri Chakra, and all our most of our Stotras. So, it is easy for the human mind to grasp the idea of the couple, the divine couple, rather than Parashakti or Parabrahma Swarupini, because there the female who is supreme is difficult for the human mind to grasp, whereas the couple who is supreme is more easy, more compassionate for human mind to grasp. That is why he has taken her down to the next level, where she divided herself into two on her own accord. She divided herself into two, Shiva and Devi. So now she has become the consort of Shiva, and she is doing the duties of a Grihini of Shiva. There is no deviation from that. She wants to establish a role model for all Grihasthas like us. So this is your final Swarupa, Parabrahma Swarupa, consort of Parabrahma. Next level is consort of Parabrahma. And because of your Mahamaya Shakti, you are running this universe. ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती हिता बलादाकृष्य मोहाय Mahamaya prayachati. There also he says Mahamaya. Devi as Mahamaya deludes even Jnani. That's what he says, isn't it? Jnanina mapi chetamsi. The minds of even Jnanis are deluded by you, by Mahamaya. There is a beautiful first shloka of Devi Bhagavatam. It is actually a mantra. It says, Sarva Chaitanya Rupam Tam Adyam Vidyam Cha Dhimahi Buddhim Yana Prachodayat. Sarva Chaitanya Rupam Tam. Chaitanya, if you consider as divided between various living organisms at different levels of different types, then there is a conglomeration of all these Chaitanyas, that is Sarva Chaitanya Rupa, or Chaitanya as a base, Chaitanya as a fundamental characteristic belongs to you. And out of that characteristic has emerged this world of many Chaitanyas. Sarva Chaitanya Rupam Tam Adyam Vidyam Cha Dhimahi. Adyam, she is the primal, the first one. Vidyam, she is the Swarupa of Vidya. Tati Chiti Ananda. Chiti is Jnana, and that Jnana only is referred to here as Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya. Adhyatma Vidya, Vidyanam, even Bhagavan says in Gita. So that Devi may, may promote my mind on virtuous path. Buddhim Jnanam Prachodayat. Let him give me prerana. Let her motivate me on the right path. Buddhim Jnanam Prachodayat. What is the right path? The path which will take us towards the bhakti at Devi's feet. That is the right path. So the same thing is mentioned here as Turiya. What he says as Sarva Chaitanya Rupam Adyam Vidyam. So that is mentioned here as Turiya. That one word covers this whole description of Parabrahma Swarupini. Giramahur Devim Druhina Grihinim Agama Vido Hare Patnim Padmam Hara Sahacharim Adritanayam Turiya Kapitam Duradhigama Mahima Mahamaya Vishwam Brahmayati Parabrahma Mahishi.
kada kale matah kathaya kalita laktakarasam pibeyam vidyarthi tava charana nirne janajalam prakritya मूकानामपि च कविता कारणतया kada dhatte वाणी मुखकमलताम्बूलरसताम्.
This is the glory of the Pada Tirtha of Devi, and the benefit is Vak Siddhi. We will get good speech, and whatever we say will bear fruit. Kada kale mataha kathaya kalitalaktakarasam viveyam vidyarthi tava charana nirnejana jalam. Hey mataha, O mother, I am vidyarthi. I am the seeker of Atma Vidya. Vidyarthi is not the regular school-going student. They are called Vidyarthis. Yes, they are after the Vidya which is taught in school. But we are not referring to that Vidyarthi. We are referring to the Vidyarthi who is after Atma Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya. So he says, I seek that Atma Vidya, O mother. For that, I need something. What do I need? Kada kale Savacharana nirne jalam pibeyam. At what time? When at all this will happen? What will happen? Savacharana nirne jana jalam. The water, the wash water of your feet. Pada prakshalana jalam. The wash water of your feet. Pibeyam. When will I be able to drink? When? Kada kale. At what time? When at all will I be able to drink the wash water of your feet? I am a Vidyarthi, I am a seeker of Atma Vidya, so I need that water. Kathaya Kalita Laktakarasam, that Karana Nirnejana Jalam is also qualified further. Kalita Alaktakarasam. Alakta, as we have seen before, is the red lac coating which is applied on Devi's feet. It's also applied on Devi's fingers. Alaktakarasam, that coating is still wet. That is, he is calling it as rasam. Salita means applied on the feet. So when the wash water is taken off the Devi's feet, it also brings with it the red lac coating because it is wet. Because it is wet, it's easy to wash it off along with the wash water. So he says, mixed with that red lac coating, when will I be able to drink your wash water of the feet? Please tell me, Kathaya, please tell me. Prakritya Mokanam Apicha Kavita Karanataya Kada Dhatte Vani Mukhakamala Tambul Rasatam. Kada, my next question he is asking, same continuation. Kada Dhatte, when will I receive Vani Mukhakamala Tambul Rasatam? Saraswati Devi's Tambula, the Tambula which is in the mouth of Saraswati Devi, Rasatam, the essence of that, the essence of Tambula, which is in Saraswati Devi's mouth. When will I receive that? That is going to be received if I get this wash water of your feet. Wash water of your feet contains the essence of Tambula, which is there in Vani's Mukha Kamala, lotus face. Why do I need this water? What will I do with that water? Prakritya Mokanam Apicha Kavita Karanataya. There is a reason. Prakritya Mokanam Api. Even those who are born dumb. Prakritya means by nature. Even those who are born dumb, they will become Kavita Karanataya, become poets. They will be able to write poetry, Kavita Karanataya. Because of that reason, I need this wash water of your feet, which actually contains the essence of the Tambula of the lotus face of Saraswati. And this wash water of your feet is going to bring along with it the wet red lac coating on your feet. And I am Vidyarthi, I am the seeker of Atma Vidya. So please tell me, when will I get this wash water, which actually acts as the essence of the Tambula Rasa of Vani Mukha Kamala? That's the question. Because it has the effect of making even a dumb fellow, write poetry, compose poetry. So we can easily understand the obvious reference to Mukha Kavi here, because in Mukha Panchashati we find that Mukha Kavi, who was born dumb and deaf, was blessed by Kamakshi with the Tambula Rasa directly from her mouth on a certain night in the Kamakshi temple, and he became instantaneously a poet, and he composed the 500 slokas of Mukha Panchashati, and he became the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetam immediately. So that is the greatness of this Tambula Rasa, this Karana Nirnayana Jalam. There is a kshetra called Mukambika in Karnataka, where also a dumb person was blessed by Devi to become a great scholar. There is a story, local story, associated with the kshetra. There is another story associated with Adi Shankara himself. Adi Shankara placed his right hand on the head of a dumb person and chanted, Adi Shankara chanted his two compositions, Laghustavam and Charchastavam, both in praise of Devi. And he also made him drink Devi's Padyam water, wash water of the feet. Then what happened? Immediately, as soon as this happened, immediately he became a great poet, that dumb person. So these are the miracles, these are the powers, these are the glories of the Karana Nirnayana Jalam of Devi. Kada kale mataha kathaya kavita kalita laktakarasam Pibeyam vidyarthi tava charana nirnayana jalam Prakritya Mukanam apicha kavita karanataya Tada dhatte vani anusakamala tambula rasatam.
सरस्वत्या लक्ष्म्या विधिहरिसपत्नो विहरते रतेः पातिव्रत्यं शिथिलयति रम्येण वपुषा चिरञ्जीवन्नेव क्षपितपशुपाशव्यतिकरः परानन्दाभिख्यं रसयति रसं त्वद्भजनवान्.
This sloka is acting like a Palashruti, though there is no formal Palashruti in this Saundarya Lahari Stotra. The sloka number 99 does the function of a Palashruti because in a Palashruti normally the fruits of chanting, Parayanam of the Stotra are mentioned. These are the fruits. Whereas that is not mentioned here, but indirectly what he is saying is one who prays to Devi gets these benefits. So when he says one who prays to Devi, it only means prays to Devi chanting the stotra. That is the indirect reference, implication. So the benefits are mentioned here if you pray to Devi. Saraswatya Lakshmya Vidhihari Sapatno Viharate. Tad Bhajanavan is the last line. That is the subject of this sentence. Tad Bhajanavan, one who prays to you. Bhajana is actually prayer, meditation, doing puja, visiting a temple, doing actual bhajan, what we call bhajan nowadays, chanting stotras, all of them come under this category of bhajana. Overall, something related to meditating on Devi. Any activity relating to meditating on Devi is bhajana only. So, tad bhajanavan. So, one who prays to you, what happens to him? Saraswatya Lakshmya Vidhihari Sapatnaha Viharate. He starts sporting, Viharate. He starts moving about in sport along with Saraswati, along with Lakshmi. And on seeing this, that he is sporting with actually Devi, Saraswati, Devi, Lakshmi, Vidhi Hari Sapatnaha, Vidhi and Hari, Brahma and Vishnu become jealous of him because their own wives, this fellow is moving about and sporting. This is a very indirect way, a poetic way of saying that he has attained Saraswati Kataksham and Lakshmi Kataksham in full. That is the way he is saying that even Vidhi and Hari are jealous. They are the first persons who have got the Kataksham of Saraswati and Lakshmi. So any other person Kataksham must be of a lesser quantity. But they find that the Kataksham which this fellow has obtained from Saraswati and Lakshmi is of a higher nature. That is what they feel. It's a question of jealousy. So Sapatna, he means a competitor. Saraswatya Lakshmya Vidhihari Sapatno Viharate Tate Pativratyam Shithilayati Ramyena Vapusha. He mentioned Saraswati first, then he mentioned Lakshmi because Vidya is required before you get wealth. If you get wealth without Vidya, you will become a spoil sport. You will become a person of evil character. All your wealth will be used only for developing evil habits. Whereas if you have attained Vidya first, and then if wealth is given to you, you will spend that wealth in dharmic ways. That is the purpose of saying Saraswatya Lakshma. Instead of saying Lakshma Saraswatya. Rate Pativratyam Shikhilayati Ramyena Vapusha. Then the third thing happens. Ramyena Vapusha. He develops a body which is very enchanting to all others. Because it is so enchanting, even Rati Devi, the wife of Manmatha, becomes enchanted with him. Rate Pativratyam Shithilayati. He goes and disturbs the Pativratyam of Rati, the chastity of Rati. Rati starts losing her chastity whenever she happens to see him. That means what? He is so beautiful, so handsome. So all these are not to be taken as face value. That Rati has lost her chastity, Lakshmi and Saraswati are moving about in their forms with this person. It's not like that. It's a poetic way of saying the Kataksham of Lakshmi, Kataksham of Saraswati he has got in full. Plus, he has also got a handsome body. Now, how can body change once you have advanced on the bhakti path? Body is not going to change. So this means actually the stages will change because you have got the kataksham of Lakshmi and Saraswati and you have got the kataksham of Devi. You have your tejas is going to increase. Now, whenever we look at a jnani before he attained jnana and after he attained jnana, his physical frame remains the same, but he has developed something special. That is the tejas that you can see even in the case of jnanis. So the same thing happens to him. His tejas is so great that Rati could not control herself, her admiration. Tiram Jevaneva Kshapita Pashupa Javyatikaraha. Now this is not enough. This is not the goal of life. To become rich, to become a scholar, or to become handsome. These are not the goals of life. Goal of life is moksham, isn't it? Ultimately, these are all parts of the earlier journey. So the journey has to culminate in moksham. So he says, Tiram Jevaneva, you will live long. Shapita Pashupa Vyatikaraha, and over a period of time, your Pashu Pasha will get destroyed. Shapita Vyatikaraha, that will be accomplished. Destruction of Pashu Pasha will be accomplished. What is Pashu Pasha? We have seen before. Pashutvam and Pasam. Being animal and being bound. Being animal, being bound means what? We are all like Pashus because we are bound to the samsara. We are bound to the attractions of the world. We are not bound to the Devi's feet, which is what we should be doing. If we are sincere devotees, we are not doing that. We are bound to the attractions of the samsara. So that is a bondage. That once you get released from the bondage, that is moksha. What is moksha? Release from bondage. So if you not attain moksha, what does it mean? It means you are bound. That is pasha. And when pasha is binding you, you are like a pasu because we tie an animal to a post with a rope, and that animal cannot go anywhere. He can only move about within that circle. He cannot go anywhere else. Similarly, we can move about within the circle of samsara, changing our taste, changing our attitude, but all related to samsara only. We have not changed basically our attitude. So that is the Pashu attitude. So this pasha, which is the attachment we have to the samsara, has been described as eightfold pasha in Shastras. Ghrana, Shanka, Bhayam, Lajja, Jugupsa, Chaiva, Panchami, Kulam, Jatishcha, Sheelancha, Ashtau, Pasha, Prakirtitaha. First is Ghrana, aversion or contempt. Second is Shanka, that is suspicion, doubt. Bhayam, fear. Lajja, bashfulness. Actually, here bashfulness means shyness to do the right thing. Shyness to do the wrong thing should be with us always. Lajja for doing wrong things, adharmic things, should remain. But lajja in doing the right thing, we don't have. We don't want to go out of our home with vibhuti or kumkum on our head. That is a dharma which we are left behind because of false lajja. That is what is being referred here. Jugupsa is disgust, abhorrence. This is different from the first one, aversion. That is, aversion is more serious. Disgust is for a particular appearance or a particular situation. Jugupsa chaiva panchami kulam jyotishcha sheelancha. Next is kulam, the lineage. That means you become proud of your lineage. Pride is the first enemy. Jatihi, you become proud of your caste, or you decry somebody because of the caste or because of the lineage. It acts both ways. Sheelam, you consider you are the greatest person of greatest glorious character. Somebody else is no match to your character. All these are pashas. When there is no somebody else, all this is pervaded by the same Shakti, then where is the question of that somebody else is deficient, I am great, that man is not great, that person is not great. So all these stupid things, all these petty things have no existence once you have crossed that stage. So that is what he is saying. So having done this, having achieved the state of moksha by living long here, because it may take some time, because you are so much used to samsara life, it may take some time. That is why Devi is granting you a long life so that your opportunities to get released from the samsara become more plenty. Parananda bhiksham rasayati rasam tvad bhajanavan. So the devotee ultimately when he gets moksha, he takes rasa. He takes, what does he taste? The ananda. What ananda? Parananda. Parananda bhiksham rasam. The rasa called parananda. The rasa which is called parananda. Parananda is supreme ananda. The ananda which cannot be compared with anything else. The highest level of bliss. Because whatever we have on this earth, whatever we have in Sargaloka, whatever we have in Brahmaloka, all these anandas have been measured in Anandavalli in Taittiriya Upanishad. The Raja, it starts with Raja on earth, Raja, not ordinary person. The Raja, if you take it as one unit, then Deva have got 100 units. Like this, it goes on 100-fold. There are two categories of Devas. Then each becomes 100 times, 100 times. Then Brihaspati, another 100 times. Brahma, another 100 times. But all this, even the bliss of Brahma is nothing. It is a lesha, lava lesha. It's a insignificant particle of this Parananda, Supreme Ananda. That is what the Upanishad teaches us. And that Ananda is there for the Jnani. That is the conclusion given in the Upanishad. That Ananda is not somewhere else hidden, which is beyond our reach. No, it is available. It is there with the Jnani. If you see the Jnani, he possesses that Ananda, the Supreme Ananda, which is beyond even Brahma, which is beyond Brihaspati. So that Parananda, that Supreme Ananda, like the Jnani whom we have met, whom we have seen, like that, this devotee also experiences that Parananda. He becomes that rasa. He does not taste that rasa. Rasayati. He becomes that rasa. He does not taste that rasa. He becomes that rasa. That means what? This is the Advaita state. Because Shankara is the philosopher teaching Advaita essentially to all of us through various means. So this means of Saundarya Lahari also he has chosen to finally end with the Advaita teaching in a very subtle manner. So the subtle teaching here is, once you have released, once you have got moksha, you are not different from Parabrahman. There is nothing for you to taste, there is nothing for you to enjoy. You are the enjoyment, you are the bliss, you are the ananda. It's not as if there are two people, the enjoyer and the enjoyment, object of enjoyment. Then the whole problem arises. Dvaita. Dvaita should go. There should be only one. That is the Advaita. Rasayati. That is why he is advisedly using the term Rasayati. He becomes Rasa. Sarasvatya Lakshma Vidhihari Sapatno Viharate Rate Pativratyam Shithilayati Ramyena Vapusha Tiram Jivanneva Kshapita Pashupasya Vyatikaraha Parananda Bhiksham Rasayati Rasam Swadbhajanavan.
प्रदीपज्वालाभिर्दिवसकरनीराजनविधिः सुधासूतेश्चन्द्रोपलजललवैरर्घ्यरचना स्वकीयैरम्भोभिः सलिलनिधि सौहित्यकरणम् त्वदीयाभिर्वाग्भिस्तव जननि वाचां स्तुतिरियम्.
This is the last shloka of Saundarya Lahari, where normally Stotras end with a Phalashruti. We have seen many Stotras, even Adi Shankara Stotras themselves. But something like a Phalashruti he mentioned in the earlier shloka. Now he is saying something else in this shloka. What is that? He is doing Atma Samarpanam. He is doing Sharanagati by offering the Stotra at the feet of Devi with a complete sense of humility, unparalleled sense of humility. He is teaching us the concept of Atma Samarpanam, because we were just talking about Advaita, and Advaita cannot come, that concept has no meaning if you have not done Atma Samarpanam. If you cannot erase your identity, how will you become somebody else? Isn't it? Becoming someone else means what? You have to erase your identity, and for erasing your identity, the first step is Atma Samarpanam. Putting yourself at the disposal of somebody else, putting yourself at the feet of someone else. If you cannot do that, you cannot erase your identity. There is no question of Advaita Bhava. So he is now coming back to that Advaita Bhava in terms of Atma Samarpana. Even in Bhakti Marga, the highest Bhakti Parakashta, the pinnacle of Bhakti is what? Is erasing your identity. Sharanagati is Bhakti. Forget Jnana Marga. Jnana Marga, it is obvious when you say Aham Brahmasmi, so everything else you negate. You negate the body, you negate the world, you negate everything else. They don't exist for me, and I am Atma, you say. Okay, that is Jnana Marga. That is difficult for ordinary people. So you go for Bhakti Marga, where you have an ideal to whom you pray. You have an ideal, not only to whom you pray, to whom you emulate in your daily life, who is an ideal to be followed in all respects. Then you go on praising him, doing all pujas, etc., etc. You start merging your mental faculty with that ideal. That is Bhakti Marga, isn't it? But Bhakti Marga cannot be complete unless you, in the process, you lose yourself. You have to lose your identity, even in Bhakti Marga, and then it culminates in Jnana. Bhakti has to culminate in Jnana. Without Jnana, there is no moksha. Jnana devahi kaivalyam. Upanishad is very clearly stated. So that Jnana is not something which is not a fruit that has to be plucked from a tree. You can't do that. So Jnana has to be granted by Bhagavati. It is something which she has to give out of her compassion. It is not something which you can claim. Your claim comes up to the state of you are negating yourself. You are erasing your identity. Once you have done that, yes, you are qualified for Jnana. Jnana is the realization of that identity of yourself with Parabrahman. These are all subtle stages which we cannot understand in our stage of understanding. So, Pradeepa Jwalabhihi Divasakara Nirajanamihi. Shankara gives three examples of the humility with which he is offering the stotra. The humility with which he is offering the stotra at the feet of Devi is similar to three examples which we see in our experience. Pradeepa Jwalabhihi Divasakara Nirajanamihi. Divasakara is Surya. Nirajanamihi. The offering of Nirajana, Deeparadhana to Surya as per procedure with Pradeepa Jwala Abhihi, with the flames of an ordinary lamp, with the flames of ordinary Deepa. That's what we do, isn't it? On now 15th is going to come Sankranti day. We draw the figures of Surya, Chandra, etc. We create a chariot and then we do puja on the floor. Then finally, when the Deeparasana is shown to those deities on the floor, you take your Deeparasana up towards the sky and show it to Surya also. Same Deeparasana shown to Surya. In fact, when Periva does the puja, they just done in the open. We are all doing inside the home, so we cannot actually show it to Surya. But he actually shows to Surya, you might have seen. So that is what he is referring to. Showing to Surya a Deepa flame. Now, what is this? The Deepa flame has no existence before Surya. Surya is brilliant. Crores of Deepas are no match for Surya's brilliance. So what is the use of showing it to him? What is the purpose of showing it to him? The purpose is to show our humility. The purpose is not that we are offering something which he doesn't have. He has much more of this. We are only expressing our humility. Yes, I am your slave. I am your devotee. Please protect me. That prayer we offer through this gesture. So similarly, Sudha Sute Chandropala Jalalavaihi Arghya Chandropala is Chandrakanta stone. Chandrakanta stone we have seen before is a stone which is formed by concentrated absorption of the rays of moon. Well, we don't know where the stone is, but it was there in the poetical literature in ancient times. Perhaps it was there. We don't have it now. So this stone, which is formed by the concentration of the nectarine Amrita rays of Chandra, starts shedding Amrita liquid in the form of liquid. Amrita, because it has absorbed so much of Amrita, the Amrita starts overflowing. It is like a vessel where you start pouring water, naturally water will overflow at some point. Similarly, the stone has absorbed so much of Amrita, Amrita starts overflowing from that. in the form of a liquid. So that is what he is calling as Jalalavaihi, Chandropala Jalalavaihi. That water which is flowing out, the nectarine water which is flowing out of the Chandrakanta stone, you take a little bit of that, lava, you take a little bit of that and you offer Argya to Chandra. Sudha Sute is Chandra. Sudha Sute is the creator of Amrita, the producer of Amrita. Sudha Sute, because he is the one who gave the Amrita in the first place and the stone absorbed it, and now whatever is absorbed from the moon, it is shedding now, and out of that you take a little bit and offer to the same Chandra in the form of Argya. Argya Rachana. So what is this? This again has no meaning because he is full of nectar. So Chandra is full of Amrita, and you are offering a little bit, inconspicuous, insignificant, little bit. What is this? What is the meaning of this? It only shows our humility. We want to show our respect to Chandra. Because of your Amrita rays, we are alive today. Because it is the Amrita rays which are giving power to vegetation. We have seen it before. All the vegetation derives its power of poshana, power of nourishment only from moon. They grow because of the sun, but they gain the power of nourishment only from the moon. So both are required. So we are showing our gratefulness, our humility to Chandra by means of this small gesture. Similarly, Sukiyaihi Ambhodhihi Salila Nidhi Sauhitya Karanam. Salila Nidhi is Samudra, the ocean, the big storehouse of water. Which is the big storehouse of water other than ocean? For ocean, Sauhitya Karanam, Sauhitya is Tarpanam. You might have seen those who take bath in the ocean, in the sea, they take a little bit of water, same Samudra water in their hands and drop it in the same Samudra as Tarpanam. They utter the mantras and then they offer it as Tarpanam. Tarpanam for Samudra Raja only. We are not talking about Tarpanam for Pitrus and other Devas here. Tarpanam for Samudra Raja is offered with the water taken from the Samudra itself. What is the meaning of this? Tokiyehi Ambhodhihi, from the waters belonging to Tokiyehi, belonging to the ocean itself. From the waters belonging to the ocean, Tarpana is being offered to Samudram, to the ocean. What is this? What is the meaning of this? You are taking water which belongs to Samudram and then calling it as Tarpanam. Tarpana, what is Tarpanam? Tarpanam is means of satisfaction. The word tripti comes from that. You are satisfying Pitrus, Devatas, etc. Similarly, you are satisfying Samudra Raja here. How can you satisfy somebody by snatching something from his possession and then offering it back to him? This is ridiculous, isn't it? No, it's not ridiculous because Shastra prescribes it because it shows your humility. If you look at it from that point of view, it is ridiculous, no doubt. But if you look at it from the point of view of a human being who is powerless in front of Samudra Raja is a great Devata and we want to show our gratitude to him. If you go to Rameswaram, you can take bath in Samudram any time during the 365 days. In other Samudras, there are restrictions. Only on certain days you can take bath. But there you will find people going taking bath any time of day or even night. So, whereas night time you cannot take bath in the ocean and many other places. So there are restrictions. Now, all these restrictions, all these procedures are meant to show our respect to Samudram, isn't it? To show our gratefulness, like in the previous two cases. So similarly, Sudiyabhirvadbhihi Tavajanani Vacham Sutiriyam Vacham Janani, O Vagdevi, the producer of walk, producer of speech, you are the mother of speech. To you, I am offering this Iyam Stutihi. Iyam Stutihi, this Stotra I am offering to you. Tudiyabhirvadbhihi Tavastutihi Iyam. This is a Stotra in praise of you. This Stotra. This I am offering to you. This has been composed by words. Which words? Your own words. Tudiyabhihi. Words belong to you. I have taken from you and then composed the Stotra from your own words and then offering it back to you. It is same as Samudra water being taken from Samudra, being offered back to Samudra. Same way. So there is no role for me. What is the role there? It's except that you picked up a little water and offering it back to him. Except that there is no role for you. You have not created that water. So similarly, I have not created these words in the stotra. All the words belong to you because Akaradik, Shakaranta, Matrika, Devata, Devi. So all letters is of that form. So there's no question of any word existing without her. All the aksharas belong to her. All the words belong to her. Now I picked up a few words which I came to know and then I composed the stotra. That shows the utter humility, the greatest level of humility which Acharya shows to us. Now this is a lesson for us that whatever we do, a little bit, whatever we do, Vidya Dadati Vinayam, so says the Shastra. So if you are really learned, you cannot be arrogant. You cannot be proud of your learning. You have to become more and more humble. This is what he is now showing us, that this Advaita Bhava, it's the Samudra water going and joining Samudra, is similarly that Argya, which is nectar and rays from moon going back to moon, these are all expressions of Advaita Bhava, indirect expressions. So similarly, here also, Devi's words put in the form of a stotra and offered back to her at her feet is also Advaita Bhava. So ultimately, Atma Samarpanam, Karanagati is the goal, and that is what is conveyed here. Pradeepa Jwaladhihi Divasakara Nirajanavihi Sudhasute Chandropala Jalalavair Adhyarachana Swakiyirambhovihi Salilanidhi Sauhityakaranam Tudiyabhirvadbhistava Janani Vacham Stutiriyam. So this brings us to the close of Saundarya Lahari, and the general aspects of Saundarya Lahari we have covered in fair amount of detail right at the beginning of the Saundarya Lahari session, as well as at many points during the course. So I don't intend going over them again, except to say a few things very briefly. We have gone through two sections. The first 41 slokas constituting Ananda Lahari, the second 59 slokas constituting Saundarya Lahari. Ananda Lahari was essentially based on the internal Samayachara procedure, the monastic procedure, mental procedure of worshipping Devi in terms of Sri Chakra Puja, which can be done outside, Sri Chakra Puja, which can be done inside, through Kundalini Yoga. Similarly, the mantra yoga, Sri Panchadashakshari mantra, you can use it while doing the external Sri Chakra Puja. You can also use it while doing the internal puja. So all these various aspects of use of mantras and use of yantras and use of tantra were covered in the first part. Of course, there were a few slokas not directly referring to these, but referring to the Devi's glory, like we have in the second part. A few slokas are there, no doubt. Second part, of course, is Keshadi Padanta Varnanam. We have seen before, right from the head to the foot. And here also a lot of philosophical exploration has happened. Philosophical details have been given, expressions have been given, philosophical explanations have been given. A lot of Advaita theory has come here and there, Pashu, Pasha, etc. All kinds of teachings have been given to us. It's not just a mere description of the form of Devi. No, even in each sloka, while describing the form of Devi, there is a hidden truth. In fact, all the 100 slokas, as we have seen before, of Saundarya Lahari, constitute Devi mantras we have seen before. There is a mantra, there is a yantra, there is a tantra associated with each of the slokas, which the commentators have gone at great length to give us. So, that is the greatness, that is the glory of Saundarya Lahari, and Parayanam itself is the great manifestation of bhakti. That is what all commentators have said. You don't worry about Sri Chakra Puja, you don't worry about Kundalini Yoga, Panchadashakshari Mantra, etc. If you are not qualified for it, you have not gone to your guru and taken the appropriate initiation for that. If you have not done that, if you are not able to do that, don't worry, nothing is lost. If you do Parayanam of the Saundarya Lahari, it is as good as doing all those things. It is not a consolation prize, no. It is a first prize. It's not a consolation prize which we give in school to those who are not able to secure first prize, second prize, etc. It's not like that. It is equivalent to first prize. So it is same as that. This is what commentators have assured us. Great scholars have assured us. Great Devi Bhaktas have assured us. So, and this is what Mahaprabhu also has mentioned repeatedly. So this is, and today is the Aradhana day of Mahaprabhu. So we are reminded of his teaching that we should go on doing Parayanam of the Saundarya Lahari, that itself will put us on the path of bhakti and take us forward. So with these few words, I will close this Saundarya Lahari session and we will move on to Jagannathashtakam. Jagannathashtakam. Now, Jagannathashtakam has got 8 slokas, Ashtakam, on Jagannatha Swami, the presiding deity of Puri, one of the 4 kshetras, important kshetras in our Bharata Desha, called Char Dham. Puri, Dwaraka, Rameshwaram, and Badrinath were known as Char Dham from ancient times. And the presiding deity of Puri is Jagannatha Swami, Krishna, and this is in praise of him. When Adi Shankara went to Puri and had darshan, this sloka came from him. Now, there is a story behind how this, like every kshetra has got a kshetra mahatmyam story. Similarly, this kshetra also has got a story. It seems there was one king called Indradyumna. The story is recounted in Skanda Puranam in very great detail. The story of Indradyumna. And there are certain other Puranas also referring to this. There was a great king called Indradyumna, and one day, obviously he must have been a great Vishnu Bhakta. One day in his dream, Vishnu came and said, go to that so-and-so location and dig in the ground and you will find a piece of wood, a very special piece of wood. Take it and then carve these images, these 3 images, Krishna, Balarama and Subhadra, and then start worshipping those images. So he went and with great difficulty found that piece of log of wood and then brought it. He did a puja there and then he brought it home. Then he was looking for a carpenter. Then Vishnu himself came as a carpenter. He said, I know what you are looking for. I will do these 3 images for you. You put me in this particular room and I will lock myself in that room. Don't open that room till I myself open and come out. Now, he took the piece of wood and started working on that. But the queen became restless because many days had passed, 15, 20 days had passed. It cannot take that long for an able carpenter. So she doubted what is going on. There was no sound also coming from inside. So she opened the door in violation of Vishnu's instruction. When she opened, she found the carpenter there, Vishnu, and he said, it is not complete yet, but doesn't matter. This is what I had willed actually. It should remain in this condition, incomplete condition. And he handed over those 3 images to the king. Now those are the images which are being worshipped today, made of wood, Darumaya Murti. So Krishna, Subhadra and Balarama are worshipped in wooden images form in Puri, and they are being renewed every few years, like we do Kumbhabhishekam here in our southern temple. There they renew the Mula Murtis themselves. They renew. They go to the forest, look for a certain type of special type of wood. There is a way of divining that, and then they find it. They cut it off from the tree after offering prayers to the tree. Even if you cut a small branch of a tree, you are supposed to offer a prayer to that Vanaspati Devata. So here it's all the more important. So they offer prayer, they cut it off, they offer puja to that log of wood, they bring it with great respect home, and then they chisel out the 3 murtis. And that is how this renewal takes place. This is called Nava Kalebara, this festival. New form, new body. Kalebara is actually body. So this happens once in 8, 10, 12 years, and then every year there is a Ratha Yatra, which is very famous in Puri. All of us know about it. How the three murtis are taken in three chariots to another place and then brought back to their original destination after the 10-day festival. So a lot of miracles, a lot of devotees have attended these Ratha Yatras, and many great saints have sung the praise of Jagannatha. Now let us look at the sloka number 1.
कदाचित् कालिन्दी तटविपिन सङ्गीतकरवः मुदा गोपी नारी वदन कमलास्वादमधुपः रमाशम्भुब्रह्मामरपति गणेशार्चितपदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे.
This last line, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatame, appears in all the 8 slokas. It repeats itself. Jagannatha is called the Swami. This is the traditional way of referring to Vishnu in literature. Vishnu is referred to as Swami and Shiva is referred to as Ishvara. Now both mean the same. Swami and Ishvara both have the same meaning. That is, they are the Lord, they are the Master. They are the possessor and we are the possession. They are the Sheshi and we are the Shesha. We have seen the Sheshi Shesha concept even in Saundarya Lahari. So that relationship remains the same, whether it is Ishvara or whether it is Swami. But like we said, na, Mahadeva is a term exclusively used for Shiva. Achyuta is a term exclusively used for Vishnu. Like that. Swami is a term generally used in association with Vishnu. So he is using that here. Even in Kashmir, when we were doing this Raja Tarangani and Kashmir lecture series, we found that there was a king called Avantivarman, and he built 2 temples, because most of the other kings had built temples for Shiva only, Shiva and Devi. Very few Vishnu temples had been built by other kings. But this king built 2 temples, one for Shiva and one for Vishnu, and he called them Avanti Ishvara and Avanti Swami. Avantishwara Shiva temple. Avanti added his own name. That is the practice in Kashmir. Avantishwara and Avanti Swami for Vishnu. So that is the thing. Now when he says Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatumi, Jagannatha Swami should become available to me in the path of my eyes. This is the direct meaning. That means what? He should become visible to me. He should give me darshan. That is what it means. This is a prayer. Please give me darshan. So he says, please become available in the path of my eyes. Now, this can also be interpreted that whenever this is talking about a physical darshan of Jagannatha Swami in front of your physical eyes. That is the reference here. But it can also be interpreted to mean in front of your mental eye, he should give you darshan. That means he should be available to your mind, your thoughts all the time, because thoughts keep changing. Thoughts are not focused on one object, because it can never be. Then we cannot live in this world. For living in this world, you have to do many activities. So many thoughts are required. So thoughts keep changing. And when the thought keeps changing, you should not become invisible to my mind. You should become visible, whatever be the nature of thought. That can be another interpretation. That is, you are the main focus. You remain at the foot of my mind, the adhara, the foundation of my mind, and you support all my other thoughts. This is another interesting observation which can come out of this phrase he is using here. Kadachit kalindi tatavipina sangeetaka varo or sangeetaka ravo. There are 2 versions. We will come to that. Kadachit, at some point of time. Kadachit, at some time. Because it's not all the time, no? This Leelas on the banks of river Yamuna, Kalindi is Yamuna river, or restricted to early age of Krishna. Only up to the age of 10, 11, he was in Vrindavanam. After that, he went to Mathura, and then he never even went to Vrindavanam again. So all these Leelas are the childhood Leelas, which of course occupy a major part of his Leelas in Srimad Bhagavatam as well as in other Bhakti literature. Kadachit, so at some time, Kalindi Tata Vipina, the forest on the banks of river Kalindi, river Yamuna. Sangeetaka Varo. Sangeeta is music. Sangeetaka is a concert, symphony type thing. Sangeetaka. So why he is saying Sangeetaka? Vara means the best among concerts. The best among concerts was produced by Krishna. He was only playing his flute. He was not using many instruments. In a concert, in a symphony, you have many instruments. Here there was only one instrument. But still, with that one instrument, he was giving the impression, he was giving the beautiful image of many instruments being played around. So that is glory, that is in praise of Krishna's music. So instead of saying Sangeeta, by just adding one letter, he is giving that glory. Sangeetaka, Varaha, he is the best among those who create this kind of Sangeeta, this kind of symphony. Or Sangeetaka Rava. Rava is sound, sound of that symphony music. He is himself the sound of that symphony music. He is not producer of that sound. That means what? He has lost himself in that sound. Sound is like, because all our Vedas start from Omkara. Omkara is the primal sound. Sound is the basic, Nada, Nada Bindu Kala. Nada is the starting point of all creation. Nada is at the base of everything. So there is nothing wrong in saying that Bhagavan is Nada. Bhagavan is Nada. The Vedas tell us that. So here we are saying Bhagavan Krishna is that sound which he has produced himself in the form of a symphony on the banks of the river Yamuna in that forest at some point of time. Muda gopi nari vadana kamala swada madhupaha. Madhupa is the honey bee we have seen before. This honey bee, that is Krishna, he is aswada, he is tasting gopi nari vadana kamala, the lotus, which is the face of the gopi women. Gopi women's face is considered like a lotus, for which Krishna is the honey bee, tasting that honey of the lotus from the face of the gopis. This shows the mutual attraction they had for each other, which is the subject of great description in great account in Srimad Bhagavatam. We all know that. So for each of the gopis, he was giving that impression. That is what we find in Rasa Krida. He appeared in person, one for each. If there were 100 gopis, there were 100 Krishna. Then there was one Krishna at the center, extra Krishna. So for each of them, he was looking like the enjoyer of that honey. So that is what he is saying. Muda, with great happiness, with great delight. He was the honey bee tasting the honey of the lotus face of the gopi women. Rama Shambhu Brahma Parapati Ganesharchita Padaha. His feet were worshipped by Rama Mahalakshmi, Shambhu Parameshwara, Brahma. Amarapati is Devendra, the Lord of Devas, Ganesha. So these devatas come and worship at your feet. Your feet are worshipped by them. So that Jagannatha Swami should become visible to my eyes, who is actually in the form of a sound, or who is the best of musicians, playing his flute beautifully on the banks, in the forest on the banks of Yamuna at some time, and who is a bee, honey bee, tasting the honey of the lotus flowers of the face of gopi women, and whose feet are worshipped by all devatas, including Mahalakshmi, Shambhu, Brahma, Devendra, and Ganesha. Kadachit Kalindi Tatavipina Sangeetakavaro Muda Gopi Nari Vadana Kamala Swadamasupaha Rama Shambhu Brahma Marapati Ganesha Chitapado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. We stop for today. We continue Jagannathashtakam tomorrow. Any questions?
No questions, Mama.
No questions. So we close the session today. Please join me tomorrow. Let us continue to enjoy Jagannathashtakam tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. IST. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Shri Jagadambikayai Jaya Jaya Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda.